Hello. Good evening on the 21st of February 2021. And I thought, I need to share something, because I haven't shared for a little while, to just to mark this date. And I was thinking, I've got a poem called 121 and another one called Cells, about the division and replication of our cells. And I suppose at this coronavirus time, and talk of the vaccine and the mRNA vaccine, that's the first time that anything like that's been trialled. And should we be meddling with cells at that level? I tend to think of the cells almost as a replication of God's love, and the DNA being the master blueprint, which the mRNA then takes the instructions from to make and replicate new cells. And I tend to think of that as like the holy structure of God the Father, with Jesus Christ as the messenger for that love. And of course the message needs to be clear, but of course Chinese whispers happen at every level, and misinterpretations, and sometimes that messaging goes wrong, and that's when we become ill. So fascinating, isn't it? Our bodies are truly wonderful, and I do believe that they are created and they're designed to work with love, with the fullness of love, and that love that we all seek. And of course, it's not quite as easy to attain as it seems. And God's true love works mind, body, and creates the spirit. So if we're only working in one of those areas, then we don't get the fullness and wholeness of the love. So I thought I'd share with you this poem. There's quite a lot of scrawlings over here as I've been updating and practicing it, because I think perhaps when I first wrote it, I've learnt a bit more since then. So that's from my book, Healing Poems for Positive Love, which is, I take a look at how the 7 deadly sins take away from the spirit of love, and I explore the consciousness of the gemstones cited at Revelation 21. So there's quite a lot of interesting information in here, some non-fiction mixed with poetry. So I do thank God for the poems that I have, because it wasn't really my plan to write poetry. They just sort of started popping out for about 10-12 years. So here we go. 1, 2, 1. 1 or 2 or 2 to 1. The magic ratio, where we create something new, where infinity is endless and matter becomes energy, light of consciousness, enlightenment affecting our cells, determining health and life, or sickness and death. Energy or atrophy. With iron to oxygenate our cells for vitality, sulfur to cleanse and make new, our tissues for life. Calcium to tone and magnesium to relax, chromium to balance and selenium to glow, zinc and copper help us glow and grow, more beautiful in form for life. Gold and silver to soothe the pearly gates of the irritations of life into smooth emerald rivers for life, to bathe by the trees of life, you and me by their side, filling up with positive love of joy and happiness. Like children bathing in joie de vie, sunshine for the soul, elements radiating rainbow glows, positively living for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It is attainable. It is the real life of positive love. 2 to 1 or 1 to 2. the magic triangle and golden rectangle, the pentagon, the hexagon, the octave and octagon, infinite life eternal, self-creating and self-renewing, endlessly round like a whole, for the life-giving, for the cup of love. Communion with the Spirit, to share and unite for peace, twofold peace for the world, to live as one world, one vision. What a wonderful world. Love, creating the Christ love with faith, creating knowledge of how to be or not to be, learning righteousness for discernment, for love to prevail, for peace and friendship, for community and unity, union and communion of two becoming one, the positive Spirit, the Holy Spirit, bathing ourselves with love for life, for oneness, harmony with grace and faith, with recognition of God's love. We all know this inside our hearts. It's written inside our hearts. Love or fear, love and accept or hate and destroy, reject, annihilate, war. Only by understanding and reason can we discern accurate knowledge, for love for life, for energy and vitality, empowerment, for the cup of love to unite two to one, for peace and unity in everyone, for the holy grail of life. Unity and oneness of the Holy Spirit of love is perfection of life, where we can glow with enlightenment and light up the world with positive love. Do not positively die, do not surely die, as stated in Genesis 2:17. Let there be light for the Holy Spirit of love. There's a little illustration that I did of those. Seven spirits of God's love, discerned from Revelation 2 and 3. So Jesus Christ is coming soon. Yeah. Oh, the world's looking very dark, isn't it? What to say? I'm feeling very tired now too. And at what point are we going to be changed, just as in the twinkling of an eye, when that understanding comes and we learn that God's love is not a cortisol and does not cause cortisols, and it's the cortisols which cause all the anxieties, stress, depression, illness, sickness, and things that cause us to be unwell. So only God's love is healing and creates that love which abounds us with the Holy Spirit to dwell in our bodies, the temple where God's love does dwell. God bless.